All right, welcome back to the Virtue Bowling Supply YouTube channel. My name is Chris, and I'm here to bring you guys the high rev perspective.
And my name is Josh, and I'll be bringing the low rev perspective.
Today, going head to head, we have the brand new RotoGrip Transform Pearl and the Motiv Sigma Tour Pearl. We'll be throwing 10 shots with both of these, picking one winner that we would most likely add to our bag, and explain why. The Transformer is definitely the stronger option out of the two. With that asymmetric core and the pretty strong Pro cover stock, to me, it wanted to see it a little earlier and wanted to be more tumbly off the end of the pattern. The Sigma Tour Pearl, I could definitely see it float a little more, have a little bit more friction response, a little quicker, but still overall good archy, slow shape that still wanted to retain energy and go through the pins. To me, the Sigma Tour Pearl is definitely more continuous than the Transformer Pearl was. With how strong the Pro cover was on the Transformer, when it saw the friction, didn't want to go sideways, and it made the corner, but it was a little bit more forward, didn't quite have that right to left reaction. I definitely feel like I could shape the Sigma Tour Pearl a little bit more, but still be confident that's not going to completely hockey stick off the end of the pattern. So both of these ball reactions looked pretty good. I do think I had a little bit more miss room with the Sigma Tour Pearl though. All right, so with that being said, like I said, I feel like both ball reactions looked pretty good, and either of these two balls could fit in my bag, and I like the reactions of both of them. Even though these are a little different with the asymmetric and symmetric cores, this is really just a battle of new releases, not necessarily having to be both Pearl or both symmetric or asymmetric. It's just which ball reaction looks better for the specific style. Like I said, either or could win, but I think with the miss room of the Sigma Tour Pearl, I think that one's going to be a little bit more versatile for me. Even though the Transformer Pearl looked quite a bit better than the original Transformer for me, the Sigma Tour Pearl I think just had the superior ball reaction.
For me, both of these balls are definitely on the cleaner end of the spectrum. However, the Transform is definitely bigger. I felt like the Transform was just a little bit more tumbly and kind of that bigger asymmetrical shape. Once the big ball out of the bag starts to kind of flat 10, this is the ball you go to kind of deal. Now with the Sigma Tour, a step down from even the Transform, but it had more of a smoothness to it, obviously being symmetrical, but definitely more of a smooth, controllable shape off friction, where the Transform was a lot more forward off of it. As I moved a little bit further left, not really further left, but just more in the oil really, the Sigma Tour Pearl was actually better, which I thought it would be the opposite, but the Transform just got really tumbly and really forward and didn't really want to get off spot, where the Sigma Tour Pearl was just a little quicker to it and retained more energy and allowed it to kind of give it a little bit more time to get off that spot. As I moved further left with the Sigma, I would throw it a little bit further right, and you could see it kind of stand off the friction sooner, but the difference for me was just the weighting. I is what I like to call it. It just floated a little bit. Even if it did see the early friction a little too soon, it waited on the lane just to kind of take action and hook in the right zone. So overall, these two balls definitely in the weaker end of the spectrum, but like I said, Transform a little bigger, Sigma Tour a little weaker. Final thoughts on these two pieces. For me, this one wasn't too close of a battle. I felt like this one had a pretty clear winner, but overall, like I said, just the Transform put me, I would say it was just big for the cover, and I just felt like it was just too forward, which I can see being used on other patterns. Just on today's fresh house shot, it just was not the shape. So overall, the Sigma Tour Pearl is going to have to be the winner. I do feel like this ball overall would still be the winner regardless of what we bowled on, just because of that shape, and I feel like it's more versatile than the Transform is. Overall, I just felt like it shaped better and just felt more comfortable. So Sigma Tour Pearl for today.
Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video useful, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.